Welcome to the Fantasy Football Brothers. Let's meet your host. From the cold and harsh distant land of Mother Russia, lover of romantic walks from his bed to his couch, Boris Wagner. From the sunshine state of California, lover of barbershops and sleeping in, Richard Wagner. Thank you for joining the Fantasy Football Brothers for another episode.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Football Brothers, and this is our fourth part in our 5-part series for beginners trying to get into fantasy football. And oh man, are we excited. We're hoping you're learning some stuff, getting excited for fantasy football and getting into it.
Yeah.
Wait, my name is Richard Wagner.
And my name is Boris Wagner.
Yeah. And so today on this episode, we're going to be going over pretty much your weekly matchups, right? We're going to give you the strategy behind how to win every week and pretty much how you want to base who you're starting, right? Because even in shorter leagues, there's so many wide receivers, so many quarterbacks you can be starting, and you pretty much want to be looking at who they're playing and also who are you playing that week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, is it a team that scores a lot of points? Are you playing first place? Or are you playing last place who barely scores any points? And that's going to really change who you're starting week to week.
Right.
So, let's get into it. So, if we go to our matchups, right, I see that this is a pretty even matchup, okay? But if I go to week, let's say week 2. Okay, let's say week 2, right? It's a pretty even matchup. I'm trying to get to, where's the guy where I play the 100-point guy? Oh, there you go. Is that because? Okay, perfect. So here in week 4, I'm playing Team 5, and I'm projected to lose by 20 points. Right? Wow. You know why? Because this guy got Zeke and Clyde. So that makes a lot of sense. Probably won't happen, but
Zeke and Clyde.
Let's say I was playing a team like this, right? Who, let's say at this point by week 4, they're the number 1 team in the league. They've won 4 in a row, and they're just putting up a ridiculous amount of points, right?
So you need some upside players.
So we're gonna target the most upside that we can get, right? So let's say Ben Roethlisberger, as we can see right now, he's playing Tennessee. Tennessee, let's say that week they're a really good hard defense. So we're gonna go to the waiver wire. Let's go to my team. Let's go to add players. And
so he's gonna try to pick up another quarterback. Let's say,
right.
You would only do this in stream quarterback to quarterback week to week if your quarterback is doing okay.
Right.
So if Ben Roethlisberger for the first 3 weeks is like killing it,
yeah,
it doesn't matter if he's playing a hard defense. Like you're not gonna drop it.
Yeah, but if he's giving me like a 16 points or somewhere around there, I'm gonna try to go into week 4, and I see that Jared Goff is playing the Giants defense. Right. The Giants defense is a pretty bad defense.
Right.
So I would pick up Jared Goff. And he's projected 17.7 points that week.
It's already a little better.
So a little better, and I would throw him in there to get that upside because I need to win. Same thing with let's say running backs, right? Let's say DeAndre Swift is playing Chicago, and let's say Chicago is a good defense at that point, but James White is playing Miami, which is a bad defense. I will play James White over DeAndre Swift, and you don't even have to do it based on defenses, right? Just the players, just your because. There's going to be players that are consistently going to be getting you a certain amount of points. So every week they're going to be getting you like, let's say 10 to 12 points. And then there's going to be some other players that
will get like 30 points, then 2 points, and 30 points,
exactly.
and then 2 points. And those are the guys that you want to try to hit those home runs in that week.
Right.
So.
You like Tyreek Hill. He can have a game with 40 points. He can have a game with 4 points.
All right.
So you want to be playing the guys who you think have the best shot to hit those 30, 40-point marks or 20-point marks because you're going to need it when you're playing the best teams.
You might not want to hit Mark because how about if your friend was Mark? That'd be very messed up.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But if there's like an Allen or like a Josh,
nice.
Maybe.
Or what about a soccer? Would you sock her?
I would never hurt any lady. I love ladies. No.
It's good to get that out of the way.
Yes.
I would not either.
Absolutely.
So that's very important, looking at the matchups. And then, besides the matchup, whether you're playing so the other spectrum of that really quickly is let's say you're playing the last place team,
right.
Who's putting up such a little amount of points. What you pretty much want to do there is play your floor players. Play those guys who are going to get you 10 to 12 points, because all you're going to need is those 10 to 12 points guys to get you the points to beat them. Safe players are the way to go there, and that's going to really help you in the long run.
Another thing, because we're talking about streamers, and we haven't really talked about this, is our defenses and kickers. The reason why we haven't talked about them that much is because usually you don't want to draft them in your first 12, 15 picks.
So you want them to be your last picks.
You want your last picks. You want to basically stream them. So, because no one really knows. Maybe there's like top 2-3 defenses that game to game will get you a lot of points. Usually, it's very inconsistent.
It's based on who they're playing. What
Right.
offense are they playing? If they're playing Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, you definitely don't want to start them.
Exactly.
But if they're playing like Dwayne Haskins and Washington Redskins, start the crap out of them.
They're not rushed. I actually
Sorry.
heard
They're not Washington Redskins. They're the
They are-
Washington football team now.
No. They just got a new name.
They
I
did?
think. Yeah, they're like
Breaking news.
The red.
Is this real?
Yeah, they said that they're the most likely it's gonna happen.
Oh,
It's
so
not
it's
like
not
official, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, so that's really going to help. Oh, and since we're on defense and kicker really quick. So the way defense gets you points is through interceptions, sacks, or
Fumble.
a fumble. And if they get an interception or a fumble and they run it back and score a touchdown, you get the 6 points. And every single league will score them differently. You get a couple points for each one of those things. And kickers, the way those guys rate points is how far their kick was. So I think anything 30 yards and under, so 20 yards, 10 yards, 30 yards, I think you get 3 points. 40 yards to
So
50.
39 and lower.
39 lower, yeah.
Right.
40 to no. I think 30 and lower. I think once you hit the 30-40 range, you're getting 4 points.
No, 30. Oh.
And once you hit the 40 to 50 range, you're
Is
getting
it like
5
that?
points. Yeah. But it's going to be different in every league. But just to give you an idea, and you want to, and pretty much you're going to be streaming them. The kicker doesn't really matter. Just get your guy, play with him. If he starts sucking, pick up another guy. You don't really stream them.
Right, you don't want because just
Right.
again, game to game, who are they playing? That's why you hopefully get into a league where someone is like, oh my God, here's this defense, and they pick them up like in the 8th round.
Right.
So instead of you going for a defense in the 8th round, you get someone that's really good, your
Yeah.
wide receiver or running back, because you want depth.
Yeah, when you're drafting, don't make the mistake being like, oh, I have all my positions filled.
Right.
Now I just need a defense and kicker. No, get that depth, put those players on your bench, and just draft them late because you can be streaming them. Well, really quick, we can go more in depth in trade than last episode. Very fastly, we can touch on it in the sense of in season.
Oh, I think the other thing was injuries.
Injuries, right. So
Right.
in season, where you're going to be getting injuries, players are going to suck. And so the waiver wire is great, but trades are going to be very important as well. So let's say your second running back gets injured, and you have good wide receiver pieces. You're going to want to package those wide receiver pieces to get you a good second running back. So really be seeing what, and you also want to target other teams, right? So if another team, let's say their stud running back goes down and they need running back help, and you have 3
Right,
good running backs,
right. So
you
can
target
really
the crap out of that.
Yeah, not only that, but you can sell something for way higher because they're in
Exactly.
such need of it.
It's
That's
such
why
need.
again, that's why you want to stack wide receivers, especially stack running backs, because running backs, they get injured all the time, and you want to make some sexy trades there.
Very sexy trades. Yep, I think that's it.
Another thing, wait,
Yeah.
is the injury. So like if someone does get injured, for example, if Gurley, gets injured where it says 4 to 6 weeks, do you want to drop him there? Do you not want to drop? So if you have, I feel like it just depends on how many weeks he's out and how good you're doing. So maybe like, I don't know, if it's in the 6th week and you've won all your games and it's 4 to 6 weeks, and he's doing, again, if he's doing really good for you, then hopefully, first off, you have an IR.
Right.
So if you have an IR, then that's an easy thing to do. You put him in the IR. If not, then you have to assess how good he was, how many weeks he's going to be missing. And if that's happening towards the playoffs and he's going to miss a decent amount of weeks, then you have to, as much as he's been playing well for you, you have to cut him there.
Yeah, you have to cut him. And on the opposite end of that spectrum, if you're a bad team and 6-7 weeks in, you're one of your best players goes down, but he's going to come back for your playoffs.
Right.
And this is not one of your best players. I'm saying one of your mid-tier players, and he's going to come back for the playoffs. But you're not going to have him for the rest of the season. But you're like 1-5. you're going to want to drop him. You're going to want to pick up other players because holding him is like bench spots are very important. Holding a
Absolutely.
guy there that you can't, keep and develop him, see as he develops or have the potential to start him is a really big, you're playing with a really big, handicap there. So, yeah, be careful of that. And next episode, we're going to go into playoffs, and we're going to talk more about, what happens to injuries in the playoffs, and all of that. Also, trades have a deadline. I think the deadline's week 10 for most leagues, but you should check your league. It's different every league. But yeah, thank you for watching another episode of the
guys,
Fantasy
if you guys
Football Brothers.
Sorry.
No, you
about
good?
that was very beautifully done.
Go for it.
If you have any questions, concerns, comments about what we've just talked about in this video or other videos, comment on this YouTube, comment on the podcast. Check us out on Discord, our Patreon, at the Fantasy Football Family. Just let us know, your thoughts, and we'll be glad to answer anything you guys have.
Yeah, and please leave us a like, hit the subscribe button. Like Boris said, leave us a comment. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a
Give
review.
us a review, baby. Come on.
Give a nice review.
I mean, not
Come on.
baby. Baby, but like baby as like a friend, baby.
Yeah. We do really appreciate guys' support. We can't wait to see how these videos do because we're recording them back to back.
Right. That's why you guys literally see me looking exactly the same with my hat, with my nicer hat than his.
I feel
with
like
my shirt.
the hat might have moved.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
a
it might
little
have
bit.
moved to the left, to the right, but more so,
Yeah, guys. Thank you for watching another one of these. We will see you guys for the 5th and final part.
That's
5.
You're gonna get that W.
You're gonna get that W in the playoffs. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you for joining the Fantasy Football Brothers for another episode. Visit our website at thefantasyfootballbrothers.com. Check us out on social media at the Fantasy Football Brothers. See you next time.